All right, gentlemen, belt lines are good right here in the middle of the waistband, right at the letters. You both received my instructions, so you know what I expect. A good, clean fight, obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, God bless you both.
Tahmir Smalls, full of confidence, believes a win tonight will get him into the world rankings with the major sanctioning bodies in the ring. As for ABEL Ramos, he hopes this victory tonight will turn him from a gatekeeper to walking through the gate and earn another world title opportunity. Should be a good one. Tahmir Smalls and ABEL Ramos.
Ready?
Abelito.
You know, I was surprised at the odds coming into this fight. Ramos is coming in as an underdog. And yes, Smalls has the perfect record and certainly the power behind his punches, but he does not have anywhere near the experience that Ramos has. And I don't think Ramos is a shot fighter by any stretch. That's not what I saw last year against Mario Barrios.
Smalls coming off a win over Jose Roman Vasquez, where he went the 10-round distance for the first time right here on DAZN.
I should say 2 years ago against Barrios. 2024 is when they fought.
Smalls currently ranked by the WBA at number 9, but hopes to get the attention of the WBC, IBF, and WBO here tonight. Sergio, what does he have to do to beat ABEL Ramos?
Well, he needs to maintain that distance like he's doing now. You know, pop that jab. Don't let Ramos get on the inside and make it a rough physical fight. You want to maintain that distance, maintain that mid-range, and fight your fight, which is more of a boxing fight than it is a physical fight. But whenever you're dealing with a fighter like Ramos, it's going to turn physical, you know, sooner or later. So we're going to see what Smalls is made of.
I was going to say, wait for Ramos to throw a punch. There was something.
You know, talking to Bozy Ennis this morning, who's in the corner of Smalls, they want him fighting behind that stick. He's got a very good jab, and they want him throwing it early and often to set up that right hand. He's got dynamite in that right hand.
Yes, he does, and he also has patience. That's the thing about Tahmir Smalls that I like. He has patience. He knows how to manage the clock of a round. You know, so you really can't give up too many rounds against a fighter like Smalls, because he'll take what he can get.
Ooh, good left, but followed by a check hook from Smalls.
Both of them exchanged hooks. They both landed. Smalls got the better of it slightly.
Ramos turned professional in 2011, 15 years as a pro. That's the longest boxing career of anyone on tonight's card.
Ramos is going to need upper body movement, just like he's starting to do right there. He can't just be in the line of fire of the long, strong punches of Smalls. He has to have perpetual head movement and not rely on one punch, dipping one punch. Got to fight with a rhythm if you're ABEL Ramos.
Just missing with the right hand was Tahmir Smalls. Both men approaching this first round rather cautiously.
Yeah, that's Smalls' best punch is that right hand, and he lines it up nicely. He steps back just barely to make opponents miss, and he catches them with that straight right hand, laser-like right hand. See, this is Ramos' fight right there. Just, you know, getting that lead hand, that left jab, and picking him at the face, the chest, the belly, and then once you break that range, dig away at the body. In a quiet round, it could sway your favor just by being a little bit more active.
Just like that. Nice and relaxed. Just like that. Just like that. Nice and relaxed. Just like that. Nice and relaxed. You know what I mean? Nice and relaxed. You're going to keep trying to reach to that box. You know what I mean? Let's keep walking off. You know what I mean? When you put that jab, when you want that jab, double that jab. Don't start throwing one, double it. And off that front foot, stab to the body. And you need that right hand. Scared to death of that right hand. You know what I mean? Keep popping that jab. Start going to that side. Like I told you. And start throwing that right hand. We're going to start throwing more than right hand. You need that right hand going, all right? But on that side right there. We're going to keep trying to reach that right hook to the body. You know what I mean? That's why I want you on that side. All right? I want you on that side right there. That crack down. You know what I mean? Sometimes throw it straight. Keep that jab popping. Sometimes when you fake it, pop that jab off that front foot.
ABEL Ramos coming off a 470-day layoff, the longest of his boxing career. In fact, he's only fighting for the 6th time in the last 5 years. Sergio, you talk about how important activity is. He hasn't had much at all.
No, that's a red flag But the type of style that he has, you know, I'm not saying that he can get away with activity, but if anyone can get away with activity, it's someone that don't rely on the bounce of footwork, you know, moving around the ring and relying on instinct and speed and defense. Flat-footed fighters can be inactive a little bit longer than boxers.
Ramos did say that he enjoyed the 470-day layoff, didn't feel rushed to get back, healed some injuries, obviously had his newborn baby. So he enjoyed the vacation and now is ready to get back to work here tonight.
And there's that upper body movement I wanted to see from Ramos. Just slightly move left and right, you know, get some perpetual movement, just like that. If you're ABEL Ramos, you can't let someone like Tahmir Smalls line you up with that jab.
You know, I like how Smalls is fighting so far. One of the questions about him coming in that people have had is discipline. Like, can he stick with the game plan, fight behind that jab, or is he more inclined to mix it up and get out of that game plan? So far, he's doing really well fighting behind that jab.
Good right hook to the body by ABEL Ramos, and that's going to be his MO. He's going to have to just keep punching at the body. Anytime he breaks that range and get past that long jab of Smalls, you just got to aim at the ribs of the Philly fighter.
And Smalls is pretty dangerous in these exchanges as well. You go back to his last fight, he dropped Jose Roman during one of those exchanges. That power in that right hand, that's real.
Crowd getting a little restless. They were spoiled by the first fight of the night, the action between Martinez and Cardenas. A much slower pace here between these bigger fighters at 147 pounds.
Ooh, big right hand just missed right there by Smalls. He needs to double that jab in order to hide that right hand. That 1-2 is not going to work against a veteran, an experienced fighter like ABEL Ramos. You gotta fool him. You gotta bait him.
You know, we talked about the value of sparring. Smalls, of course, working out of that Bozy Ennis gym, has been working there his entire professional career, as a chance to spar with Boots Ennis pretty consistently, spars with Andy Cruz pretty consistently, so he's getting good work every single day he's in the gym.
Sergio, did you have a hard time blocking out crowd noise when you fought, because you were booed all the time?
I was. Well, look, the thing about the crowd is when they're on your side, you get a burst of adrenaline, and when they're not on your side, you get a burst of anger. You know, so you want to actually shut them up and quiet them up as fast as possible.
You see Smalls really taking advantage of that reach, getting good pop on the back end of those punches.
A good shot there by Ramos, mixing it up with the 2-3. Instead of coming in with a jab, he's mixing up the combinations, and that's what veterans have up their sleeves is unique combinations to come in the front door.
Well, let's see if we can lift the crowd's spirits by showing you our main event arrivals. And there he is, Emmanuel Navarrete, a slight underdog tonight. Chris, are you surprised?
A little bit. I mean, Sugar Nunez is a tremendous fighter, but this is a 3-division world champion, a guy who's been in with some of the best in every weight class that he's boxed in. And I can tell you from talking to him and talking to his team, he has had an outstanding training camp going into this fight.
And intimidating walk. The man they call El Vaquero coming in like a Terminator, a Mexican Terminator.
And there's Sugar Nunez. You can see his posse is very excited and animated. This could be the biggest fight of his life, Sergio. Is he up to the challenge?
Of course he's going to be up to the challenge. I mean, these are two huge punchers. Both these guys have the support of the Mexican fans, but it's that man that wants to prove that he's the next Mexican star, and he can beat a 3-division world champion like Navarrete. He's in the business.
You know, I've been trying to gauge just who is going to have the crowd behind him based on what we just heard when it was shown up on the big screen. It felt 50-50. It felt right down the middle. The fans from Sinaloa, they're here for Sugar. The fans from just outside Mexico City, they're here for Navarrete.
I think this is the kind of crowd where there'll be some people that you could sway either way, like Rocky with the Russians. By the end, you know, who's to say Sugar Nunez doesn't have this crowd by the palm of his hand?
You know that was a fake fight, right, Todd?
It was real to me. All right, let's look at Chris Mannix's scorecard through 2 rounds.
Yeah, I've got a 2-0 in favor of Tahmir Smalls. Not a ton of action, but it's felt like the jab has been working pretty well for Smalls. He's followed it up with a couple of good right hands. Cagey fight, not a great action fight, as you can tell by the reaction of the crowd already into this 3rd round, but I thought Tahmir Smalls has done the better work behind that left hand.
ABEL Ramos, you talk about experience. He's fought 7 former world champions. Hooker, Prograis, Ranchuk, Jamal James, Jordanis Ugas, Omar Figueroa, and Mario Barrios. That's some real experience.
Absolutely, and right now I'm getting flashbacks. Watching Tahmir Smalls, his frame, his jab, his right hand, the way he maintains. I mean, he reminds me of a Viper, man. Vernon Forrest. I know that's high praise, but I fought that man 2 times, and what I'm seeing with Smalls, I'm getting flashbacks, man. He has exactly the same type of posture.
One of my favorite fights all time. Vernon Forrest versus Ricardo Mayorga, the first one. I'll never forget that.
Rest in peace to the Viper, man. What a great fighter.
Vernon Forrest belongs in the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
What about Sergio?
Sergio belongs in the California Boxing Hall of Fame.
You know what? I do. They should be calling me anytime soon.
Under a minute to go here in the third. The crowd hoping this fight wakes up a little bit. More action here in the third than the prior 2 rounds. I'll give him that.
Oh, good body shot there by Smalls. Nice little sneaky right hand to the body. And that's what you do with these tough Mexicans, these veterans. They can take a big shot upstairs. You got to poke them to the body. And Philly fighters, man, they're excellent, body punchers.
I tell you, this is what Smalls' team has been hoping for. A disciplined fight, not exchanging with Ramos, not putting himself at too much risk. The jab's really working really well for Smalls.
Beautiful jab right there by Smalls. It's gonna be
good body shot. Smalls thought it was coming to his chin and hit him under his arm.
Smalls better be careful with those looping shots.
10 seconds, guys.
Ramos is a heavy-handed puncher. It just takes one punch to change the momentum of this fight, no matter how in control you are.
Well, it's a doubleheader on March the 14th, live on DAZN as Johnson Dickens mounts his first defense of his WBA super featherweight crown against former IBF champ Anthony Kakache in Dublin. Then Arnold Barboza Jr. and Kenneth Sims Jr. collide in a high-stakes, can't-miss main event at the Honda Center in Anaheim, along with Puerto Rico's unified champion Oscar Collazo and undisputed world champion Gabriela Fundura putting their titles on the line. Great day and night of fights, March 14th.
And there's that jab by Ramos breaking that mid-range, but you can see anytime he does break that range, Smalls is ready with a counter. Nice little touch downstairs, and that's what, that punch did land, Todd. I thought it landed on the shoulder or bicep. That was a hard overhand right by a heavy-handed puncher in Ramos. Smalls can't be taking it easy with a veteran.
I was going to say, I would imagine you correct me if I'm wrong, you get hit in a place that you don't normally take a shot, like right underneath your arm right there. It probably hurts a little worse.
It hurts a lot. It hurts a lot. So I'm surprised Smalls took that as well as he did.
And yes, they're getting the wave going here in Glendale. Chris, please sit down. You're not part of this.
I am not pro-wave.
And that's the crowd. That's the sound you hear from this crowd. We're in the 4th round. Abel Ramos and Tahmir Smalls, our second fight of the night.
Good right hand there landed by Tahmir Smalls, and right back to the center of the ring. This is the thing about these Philly fighters. We know they're tough. We know they're powerful, they're strong, but they also carry a game plan. I love the fact that he lands his shots and gets back on the back foot. Ramos is going to have to take some chances. He can't be on the outside like this. It's going to be all Smalls. Once he gets on the inside, he needs to punch out whatever Smalls is giving him. But he's going to be eating right hands like he did right there.
And I think the strategy will pay dividends. If he keeps sticking that jab out there, maybe get Ramos to get a little bit desperate. That's when he can time and line up that straight right hand. That's the shot they're looking for. That's what they see on film. They see Ramos as someone that's going to come forward and eventually walk into one of those shots.
Well, Ramos has only been stopped once in his 6 losses. That came back in 2015 as Regis Prograis forced him to quit on his stool after round 8.
Yeah, tough guy with a very good chin.
And what do you make of Prograis versus Conor Benn? Chris, hello, is your mic working?
I think it's a fun fight as long as it lasts.
I'm glad both of them got paid. That's obscene amount of money for that type of fight.
Boy, this is a tough crowd.
Hey, listen, there's a good round by Ramos. He landed some excellent body shots. I know that Smalls is on the outside landing the jab, controlling the distance, but some good work on the inside by ABEL Ramos that's going to pay dividends as long as this fight goes with those body shots. See, Ramos right there, he broke the distance, but he loaded up on that right hook to the body. If you're him, you got to double your way in and don't load up on shots. You just got to be comfortable with your natural heavy hands landing.
10 seconds, guys. Stop at the bell. Hands free, guys. Box
Ramos
out.
is a step behind in speed and in power, but he has good timing, so he should rely on timing and not overload on shots.
La derecha ya, güey. La está mirando. Y luego los golpes están mirando más lento de él.
Look, man, look, he's getting slower.
Okay.
He's getting slower. His right hand, you can see it coming. Look, he's starting to get tired, okay? Look, he thought it was going to be easy.
Yeah, let's go.
And these are the body shots I'm talking about, guys. There's that nice left hook that landed on the right side of the rib cage, and right here he just misses another body shot going downstairs. Smalls thought it was going upstairs. It ricocheted off the glove, but good body work and around that. Ramos probably didn't win, but at least it invested to the body and downstairs.
Tahmir Smalls turned pro in 2019. At the same time period, Ramos already had 30 professional fights. So that is the difference between the 34-year-old Ramos and 26-year-old Tahmir Smalls.
You can already see the game plan developing for both these guys. Tahmir Smalls, as we've been talking about, wants to fight behind the jab. Ramos, though, body punching. 17-7 edge in body punches landed through 4 rounds.
Yep, and I see the work he's doing downstairs, but it's just not enough to sway the rounds in his favor, because, you know, this is what ring generalship is. You know, whenever Smalls is controlling the clock, controlling the center of the ring, boxing and fighting behind that jab.
Oh, nice right hand for Ramos as Smalls was a little off balance.
You know, he dictates the rhythm of the fight and the rhythm of the rounds.
Let's look at Chris Mannix's scorecard through 4 rounds.
Yeah, I've got it 4 rounds to none in favor of Tahmir Smalls. I did think Ramos did some nice work in that last one, but there you see that stick, fighting behind that jab, sharp jab from Tahmir Smalls. Ramos got to mix things up. He's going to have to get on the inside, dig more to that body to win some of these rounds.
And in order to get inside, don't just rely on overhand rights and power punching. You got to jab your way in. Double and triple your way in, and don't load up on shots, because Smalls is going to make you miss and pay.
Smalls told us yesterday he believed he would win every round of this fight, and so far, according to Chris Mannix, that's exactly what he's done. Says, when I treat him the way I'm going to treat him, people know I'm ready for a world title. This fight will not be close.
Another good body shot there by Ramos. A sneaky right hand. It was like an uppercut that landed right on Smalls. Smalls didn't like that shot.
A couple of nice jabs there from Ramos, and he backs Smalls against the rope. Landed a right hand. Good 5th round here for Ramos.
Yeah, and it started with that heavy right hand downstairs. Smalls hasn't punched since. Nothing with aggression as far as that right hand goes. And this is what Ramos needs to do. You know, he needs to capitalize on that moment. He landed a good right hand to the body. Keep digging downstairs. Jab your way in. Overload that body shot downstairs. There it is again.
Yeah, he's almost exclusively targeting the body, Sergio.
Yeah, because he can't land nothing clean upstairs. You know, Smalls is too good with the upper body and rolling with shots.
Oh, good punch there from ABEL Ramos.
And look, there's a veteran tactic by ABEL Ramos. As soon as Smalls wanted to clinch, he put his entire weight on top of Smalls. That's a veteran tactic to try to sap the leg strength.
Best round of the fight by far for ABEL Ramos.
Stop. Back. 10 seconds, guys. Fight to the bell.
Let's check in with Chris Mannix, who's with Raymond Ford.
Thank you, Todd. I am here with Raymond Ford, former 126-pound champion, and here supporting Tahmir Smalls. What are you seeing so far, Ray?
I feel like he looked good. He got a good jab. I just wanted to put the right hand behind it and put the combinations together. I don't think the dude really want to be in there.
All right, we haven't seen you back in action last summer in Saudi Arabia. Where you been, and when are we going to see you back?
I've been chilling on the couch, just watching everybody do their thing.
Well, we had O'Shaquie Foster on our podcast on Friday. Said he is down to fight you later this year. O'Shaquie, of course, has a title. Is that the fight you're looking at next?
I mean, it's about time. It's only been 2 years. Been calling this man name, but hopefully we get it done. That's definitely the fight that I want next. I know the fans want that fight. I've been wanting that fight. Hopefully, you know, he stand up on his word and we get it done.
Appreciate it, Ray.
For sure, appreciate it.
Sergio O'Shaquie Foster versus Raymond Ford.
Love that fight, man. I mean, Ford is always in competitive fights, and he's growing into his man strength, confidence in his power. Foster is having some of the best wins in his career. That's an excellent matchup, and at the right time, I would love to see that fight.
As Chris joins us back here ringside, how likely will we see that match next, Chris?
But I'm told it is very likely.
Short but sweet. Let's check the fan zone. What do you guys think? Tahmir Smalls, 61% to 39. Sergio Abel coming off his best round there in the 5th. Can he build on that?
He better build on it. It's going to be downstairs. If he is going to continue some kind of momentum, because this fight's getting away from him, and at long range, it's going to be all Tahmir Smalls. So upper body movement, more body shots, and take more chances if you're ABEL Ramos. There you go. See, just like that. 2 heavy shots downstairs. And that's keeping the elbows tucked in and the long arms of Smalls at bay.
Right hand upstairs.
Good shot.
And that may have buzzed Smalls a little bit.
Yeah, I think it did. Playing possum is Smalls. He got hit with 2 big shots right there. Ooh, another one. He's hurt. Guys, Tahmir Smalls is hurt.
You see Ramos start to show some different angles here. Sergio, I know you love that 2-1. That's twice we've seen the 2-1 from Ramos.
It's a sneaky punch because fighters aren't prepared. They're accustomed all their life to
the jab.
No, a 1-2. But when you switch it up on them with a 2-1, it throws everything out the window. It's doing everything backwards.
Of course, by the 2-1, you mean throw the right hand power punch first, followed by the jab.
That's what a 2-1 is, Todd,
yes. To those watching at home that might not be familiar with the numbers.
Well, everyone at home knows what a 1-2 is, right?
They can't talk back.
and I'll tell you what, Ramos just done another 2-1 that rocked Smalls back.
It's a nice adjustment for Ramos over these last couple of rounds. He's using those different angles to get inside, and when he's inside, he's landing some consequential shots.
There's that
right hand.
Oh, yeah.
Abelito.
Todd, I think he just said grandfather in Spanish. It's Abelito, little Abel. Abuelito's grandfather.
Well, I was talking about his grandfather, actually.
Good body shot there by Abelito.
Right on the belt line, the referee lets that one go.
I love that call. Belt line shots are fine, especially when your belt line is going north like that.
It seems like nice overhand right there by ABEL Ramos.
Yeah, Sanchez is right back into this fight, and it started with those body shots and that 2-1 that he landed. He got the respect of Tahmir Smalls.
Let me get this one.
Yeah, put that pressure on him, John. You can get it. Go for that jab and put them combinations.
How you feel? How you feel? How you feel? All right, stay tight. Don't go back. You're trying to throw it, don't go back. You got to push him back, John. You know what I mean? Stay tight. Stay tight. Listen. Stay tight and bend. Stand your ground. I want you to start ripping that shit. You know what I mean? Don't let look. He can't go forward.
Momentum shifting, and Ramos, the veteran, finding new ways to get inside. And there's that 2-1 I'm talking about, Todd. He threw that straight right hand, and then right behind it was that jab, that power jab that lands on Smalls. Boom, shots like that. Beautiful shots. Those are punches that land on southpaws normally. That 2-1 is a backwards 1-2, of course, and then Smalls didn't expect that coming.
So Abel Ramos may have won the last 2 rounds after losing the first 4. So he's right back in this.
Aaron Pryor, the Hawk, was the king of the 2-1s. That's how he was able to beat down and beat a great fighter like Arguello. You know, you break that distance, you break that range with confusing them by coming into the front door with a 2-1, and then you can unleash your shots and combinations.
Let's see how Chris Mannix has it through 6.
Yeah, I've got it 58-56 in favor of Tahmir Smalls, but the momentum now on the side of Abel Ramos. Ramos, look, he told us during this fight week, the second half is when I'm going to make my move there. He knows that Smalls has got that length advantage. He knows he's going to be hot early on, but he believes his experience was going to come into play right around this time of the fight. These last couple of rounds, he has picked it up and he has landed the better shots. 58-56 right now in favor of Tahmir Smalls.
I agree, and this is the thing when you're facing a veteran and a championship gatekeeper like Abel Ramos. You know, guys like Tahmir Smalls with 15, 16, 17 fights, this is what proves that you can separate yourself from the pack.
And look at the power shots landed. Ramos over double the amount of Smalls, who landed 5 compared to 12. And you can hear the corner, Bozienis and company, telling Smalls, you got to be first, you got to be on the front foot. You can't just always react to what he's doing.
Yeah, right now he's very reactive, and this is only making Abel Ramos see red and encouraging him. Too much moving now from Smalls and not enough punching like he was doing earlier.
I asked Smalls yesterday, what's a Bozienis fighter known for? And he goes, first and foremost, it's all about defense.
Well, right now it's I think a little bit of fatigue because
well, those body shots are just taking it out of him.
Smalls is slowing down, and it has to be the body shots being landed by Ramos. See, shots like that, you can see the arms getting lower and lower by Smalls. He's worried about these body shots instead of the looping right hands now. Another clean shot downstairs.
Ramos methodically marching his way back into this fight.
And Sergio, this is a guy in Ramos that just understands how to fight a 10-round fight. Understands that it's not about emptying the clip in the first 3 or 4 rounds, but committing to those body shots, then doing this. Another brutal body shot from Ramos.
How did Smalls stay up in that fight? That right hook to the body landed cleanly.
But Sergio, I was surprised it was so open. We could see the shot coming before he even threw it.
That left arm is completely covering the ribs now. This is the time that Abel Ramos should be looping the overhand right to the top of the head. Tahmir Smalls is rocked to the body. He's hurt and he's rocked to the body.
He's shrinking right now, Sergio. The output's not there. Fatigue is setting in, and Abel Ramos has come to life.
Beware the gatekeeper in boxing, guys. I want you to keep doing exactly the same thing, but more punches. I love what you're doing. Look, you're sitting down on shots. I love that. Look, you're going to mess this guy up. Look, once you get inside, you got to let those hands go. Look, you can stop this guy, man.
Getting set for round 8 here at the Desert Diamond Casino Arena in Glendale, Arizona. Our first fight of the night with an outstanding draw. And this one getting a little better round by round, especially if you're an Abel Ramos fan.
And I like the instructions from the corner of Ramos, noting that a stoppage could be there. If you're Ramos and you've been on the wrong end of some really tough decisions, a split decision, a draw, you cannot leave this fight in the hands of the judge. He gave away some of those early rounds, and even though he's rallied, this is a really close fight. He's got to try to step on the gas and get a stoppage if he can.
That is an excellent point, because that's what separates a gatekeeper from a journeyman. Gatekeepers still try to beat these prospects. They try to find a way to win. A journeyman is satisfied going the distance. Abel Ramos is no journeyman.
He doesn't believe he is. He believes he's still a championship level fighter. And you can certainly understand, another 2 good body shots there from Ramos. He was maybe 1 round away from beating Barrios and changing his fortune overnight.
Yeah, 1 round away from becoming a world champion. He believes he can get back in that same position if he can beat Smalls tonight, and things are trending in the right direction.
This is something that Smalls' team was talking to me about a little bit this week. Sticking to the game plan. The game plan early on was fighting behind that jab. That jab has largely gone away over these last couple of rounds.
It's been taken away by the body shots of Ramos, I think.
Oh, another one landed. And Smalls now mouth open, breathing heavily.
And that's what body work does, man. Little by little, it just starts surprising you. You're wondering why your legs are slowing down, why you're breathing heavier, why your technique is getting sloppy. It's because the investments of the body that ABEL Ramos has been putting downstairs.
The body work paying dividends in the late rounds. Ramos just hammering away at the midsection.
And hands down of Tahmir Smalls, but he gets a break from these exchanges.
And as Sergio said earlier, the lower the hands go, the more open the overhand right will be if Ramos can land it. Tried right there.
Ramos is overloading. Too much power behind that right hand. He just keep pecking and poking. Don't overload with those right hands, because then you're the one going to be fatigued by missing big punches.
There's one right there. Partially blocked, but Sergio, that's one of those where even if you block it, it does damage.
And it still hurts, absolutely. You know, with those 8-ounce gloves, you know, even if you block a punch, it's still going to hurt. That's why that earmuff defense, I've never been a fan of it. You know, even when you're punching those shots, you're still going to do damage. You got to make opponents completely miss. Swing at air. That's defense.
Two missed punches from Smalls.
10 seconds,
nothing
guys.
but air.
Oof. Ramos just barely missed a home run left hook.
Well, coming up next, a future phenom, perhaps, in the making. El General Emiliano Vargas, of course, the son of the great Fernando Vargas. 16-0 with 13 knockouts. He got so much buzz this week, Chris, they decided, you know what, we're going to put you in the co-main.
Yeah, he was scheduled to fight right here in this slot, but just minds changed during the week when the Matchroom saw the reaction to Emiliano Vargas. Emiliano Vargas isn't even their fighter. He is a top-ranked fighter. This is a Matchroom card, but they know this kid has the potential to be the next superstar in boxing, but he's got to get past that man, Agustin Quintana, who we last saw at the end of 2024 knock off another prospect in Mark Castro, upset the apple cart. This is a guy that says he only gets up for big fights. This is a big fight for Quintana.
Box.
Got Ray Vargas. He looks like I'm gonna lose.
Here we go. Ramos appears to be on a roll right now. As we enter round 9, the fight can hang in the balance over the last 6 minutes.
This is a competitive fight. I think this is the type of fight that Ramos wanted. He got back right into this fight by being physical, and this fight slipping away from the Philadelphia native.
Let's look at Chris Mannix's scorecard through 8.
Yeah, it was a one-sided fight through the first 4 rounds. It has felt one-sided over the last 4. 76-76 on my scorecard. The body work of ABEL Ramos is really paying off in this fight. He's been committed to digging downstairs and following it up with some really good shots over the top. I just think he's controlling the pace, and he's evened up this fight on my scorecard.
And I got more bad news to add. Smalls just landed his best punch, which is that right hand. Ramos ate that up and just kept coming. That's a bad sign for a guy that has momentum coming his way.
Ramos already has 3 draws on his record. Could we be heading to his 4th and our 2nd of the night?
And that's the thing, whenever you see fighters with a lot of draws, they know how to keep this fight tight. They know how to come back from being down on rounds. They know how to be competitive, even on a championship level.
Oh, there's that overhand right. The knees are wobbly. Can Ramos take advantage? Smalls backed against the ropes.
And
This could be the chance Ramos was looking for. He doesn't want it to go to the scorecards. He's always on the wrong end, it seems.
And they told Ramos that a knockout is around the corner. They saw Tahmir Smalls shrinking and shrinking, getting tired, and not taking the punches as well as he was.
Blood coming out of Smalls' mouth now. A minute to go in round 9. Still not all there is Tahmir Smalls.
Ramos should go back to the body right now. That's what opened up that overhand shot.
Smalls has never had to dig deep like this.
I mean, that was 2 good shots to the body right there. He is not stopping throwing those body shots.
Smalls is hurt, has been hurt, and it started from bottom up. Abel Ramos has a hurt man in front of him, and it starts to the body. Abelita needs to keep digging downstairs.
And to your point, you saw the left hand land for Smalls that had nothing behind it. As Ramos is like a locomotive, it just took him a while to get those wheels churning. The first 4 rounds, he basically gave away to Tahmir Smalls.
We knew this was going to be a big test for the 16-0 Tahmir Smalls, the unproven Smalls, and it's proven right. He has his both hands are full, and he has a locomotive in front of him.
What a round for Abel Ramos.
Something, come on. We ain't worried about that. Listen, we good. I mean, I need you to press him a little bit this round. But I need you to stay tight, Ty. You hear me? I need you to stay tight. Keep your hands up. Listen, pussy, don't worry about none of that spitting and all that. Don't worry about that. I need you to stay tight. I need you to push him back, Ty. You hear me? Don't let him, he only get strong when you go back.
And it's the body work that's taking the fight away from Smalls. That right hand landed because of early investments to the body of Abel Ramos. Nice short shots like that to the chin are taking away the fight of Tahmir Smalls. You hear those body work. Clean shots like that. Elbow was right open. Ramos took advantage of that, and you felt that.
Ramos told us yesterday, I'll test him like no one has before. My experience will be huge. I've got the power edge. Don't be surprised if I don't stop him late. Let's see if he can do it in the final round.
And some urgency right out of the gate from Smalls, throwing punches right away. Has to know it's a competitive fight, and it is. I've got an 86-85 in favor of Ramos on my scorecard. First lead of the fight comes after that 9th round where he wobbled Smalls with that right hand. Smalls gonna have to dig deep here over these final 2+ minutes.
And Ramos still not giving up, going downstairs. You gotta love it. That's a true veteran right there.
Nice right hand, split the guard there from Ramos. He is really feeling it right now.
And a good start to the round for Smalls, but then he goes right back into kind of the defensive posture that he's been in.
Good left hook from Ramos. CompuBox numbers, power shots landed to the body, 43 for Ramos, 14 for Smalls.
And that investment to the body is what switched this fight around. First half was all Tahmir Smalls, second half was all Abel Ramos. That's when the body shots pay their dividends.
Ramos looks like he's got plenty left in the tank, guys.
Hey, this is a guy that has gone the 12-round distance multiple times in his career. He is not uncomfortable in these types of situations. This is what he was talking about. He knew that he would have to go through some fire early on. He did that, and he has seized control despite the second half.
The technique and the defense of Smalls is out the window. He is tired, he is fatigued, and Abel Ramos is just missing big punches that can drop Tahmir Smalls.
In his last fight, Smalls said he thought he could have done more, felt like it could have fought 10 more rounds after that fight was done. He's not feeling that way in this fight, I guarantee you.
No, he's fighting underwater now. You could see how tired Smalls is right now, and Ramos can take advantage of this. Good body shot.
Nice punch, a good clean left. Smalls goes down, they'll call it a trip.
The legs are starting to fail Tahmir Smalls. The conditioning is starting to fail him. Abel Ramos is all him right now.
Did Smalls do enough early to maybe get a draw? Because late, it's been all about this tough Mexican. 30 seconds to go. Another right hand.
And the crowd loving this action, loving this momentum shift by Abel Ramos. Slamming his gloves together, coming forward, continuing to attack is Ramos.
Will Abel Ramos get a decision? It has been very difficult for him for the course of his career to come out on the right end of these scorecards.
What a close to the show for Abel Ramos. He looked lost and confused and outclassed through 4 rounds, but something changed, Sergio.
Something changed. It was experience. That's when experience takes over. Youth controls the first half of the fight. Experience dominates the end. And you can see Abel Ramos is brimming with confidence and might have just taken this fight.
Well, Chris, it feels like all 4 of those first rounds were easy to score for Smalls. Did you see another round on the way home that maybe he picked up to get a draw?
I thought he might have squeezed out one of those rounds, but for the most part, from that 5th round on, it was all Abel Ramos. You see him there being congratulated by the great Julio Cesar Chavez. Chavez knows what he saw in this fight. This was a guy that struggled getting inside the jab early on, struggled with the longer, younger fighter. But as this fight progressed, his experience took over, his game plan started to work, and he put that work in. I think he did enough to win this decision.
What a battle we have coming your way in April. On the 4th of the month, Derek Ward Chisora and Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, are set to collide. The heavyweight showdown is fittingly titled 100, as it marks a historic milestone as both fighters step in the ring for their 50th professional bouts. Who do you give the edge to in that one, Sergio?
Ward Chisora, baby. He's on the momentum run. And I think it's his time. I think it's finally his time to do something great.
Is Tahmir Smalls about to suffer his first professional loss? We're about to find out. David Diamante has the scores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action here in Glendale, we go to the judges' scorecards. Dennis O'Connell, 98-92, Ramos. Eric Curcio, 96-94, Smalls. Steve Weisfeld scored this contest 97-93 for your winner by split decision. And the new WBA Canelo North American welterweight champion, Abel Ramos.
Abel Ramos, the man that has come so close to winning the biggest fights on the championship level, finally gets a win against an undefeated prospect in Tahmir Smalls, a new father, a gatekeeper in his career. Finally, 2 arms raised in the air in victory and a smile on his face.
And he did it the old school way, Sergio. A grind it out. I'll outwork you. I'll out-hustle you. I'll out-fight you down the stretch.
Man, I got chills right now. I love seeing good guys finally get their moment. And that, man, it doesn't get as good as it gets right there.
You agree with that decision real quick, Sergio?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go into the ring. Chris is with your winner.
Well, Abel, congratulations. You've been on the wrong end of a lot of close decisions in your career. When you heard it was a split decision, what went through your mind?
Man, I had that gut feeling again, man, that I always get after my fights. But I'm blessed, man. I'm thankful to God. You know, either way, if the decision would have went the other way, I'm still thankful for God, man.
You told us during this fight week that your experience was going to matter in a fight like this, that you were going to take over in the second half of this fight. Did it play out the way you expected?
Exactly how we expected, exactly how we planned with my team. we had this game plan from the beginning, and we knew it was going to work for us.
It felt like you were down a few rounds in the early rounds. That jab was working for him. What adjustments did you have to make?
Yeah, man, I started moving my head more. I started getting inside and just being patient, man, hitting him to the stomach every now and then. You know, that works too.